Okay, guys. Well, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Dave, and I'm starting out a new YouTube channel. My shtick has been Tonight at Dave's on social media, Instagram and Facebook, with a photograph of the meals that I make. And many of you have asked, what are the recipes and how do I do that? So I figured I'd bring you on into the kitchen with a new series of videos on YouTube here, and see if that catches on and if there's an interest in you guys seeing how I make what I make. Today we're going to start simple. We're going to do a Chicago beef or an Italian beef sandwich, a la Big Al's in Chicago or Portillo's if you've ever been to one of those places. Very simple. Usually they use Vienna beef in their sandwiches. I'm just going to use roast beef that we got from Sam's Club. And you also need a roll, which we got from Sam's Club as well. We're going to need to make a juice, so I'm going to use Better Than Bouillon, beef bouillon. We're going to use a little bit of minced garlic to get that kicked off, as well as some Vienna Hot Giardiniera. This you can find in some grocery stores, or you can also find it on Amazon if you're looking to shop there. First thing we're going to need to do is heat up some water. So we'll get a little bit of water going. Don't need a whole heck of a lot, just I'd say about that much. And we'll get that going over here on the stove. I'm going to put that on medium heat on my induction stovetop. And I am going to start by putting some of the giardiniera in there. If people don't like the giardiniera, you can often put this on top after. That's probably the more traditional way, but I want to get it into the juice, so I'm just going to put a nice scoop of that in there, as well as do some of the Better Than bouillon. And we're just going to do a little bit of not quite a teaspoon. And set that on to heat up. Meanwhile, this roll came out of the freezer. So what I'm going to do is turn on my oven to 350 and just put it in there while the oven heats up and while we warm everything else up. Going to portion out some beef. Couple of slices here. And a little bit more. And while that's heating up, put this stuff away. And we'll put a little bit of the minced garlic in the broth as well. So a scoop. Mix it. So that's about 7 slices of roast beef. Get that coming up to temperature. And we'll get this other camera recording here as well. GoPro, start recording. There we go. First time, guys. So thanks for sticking with me. Give that a little stir. So basically, Italian beef is just sliced beef, um, Sometimes people will put provolone in there, which actually that's a good idea. Let's do some provolone. Get out some provolone. Again, Members Mark from Sam's Club. Not using fancy stuff. Sometimes this can be a little tricky to separate. We'll go with 2 slices. Back. Obviously, you can skip this up if you're gonna be making sandwiches for more than just one person. But for me, this is all I do. Get that over there a little bit better. There you go. Awesome. Now that's starting to come to a little bit of a boil. I don't want to boil it, I just want it hot. So I'm going to turn that heat down from 5 to 4, and I'm just going to take the beef, and I'm going to lay it in there into the juice to heat it up. And mix it in there. Okay, we're going to need to slice the bread. Oven's at 175 currently. We're going to bring this up to just another bit of a simmer. So why am I doing this? Recently, a couple of weeks ago, I decided to quit my job. I was helping people buy motorcycles for the past 7.5 years, and the economy has made that pretty tough. Working in as a commissioned salesperson was a difficult gig. So I decided to do something else with my life. And last week, a good friend of mine and Air Force Academy classmate of mine, Brian Phillips, he gave me a call and said, "Dude, I have been just waiting for the right time and opportunity to share this idea with you." And he and I discussed the concept of doing this channel, interviewing some folks. He owns a coffee company, Hoosier Warrior Coffee, out there in Indiana, and he's going to be sending some coffee that I'm going to do a review, and maybe this will morph into doing some interviews with people while I make them a meal, and we'll see where this goes. So if you enjoy this, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I would like to try to monetize this, and the more followers that I have, the more opportunity that I can do that and make more content for you guys. So just let me know, and if you have any comments or something in particular that you'd like to see me make, I'm happy to take that input. All right, looks like that's coming up to a bit of a simmer right now. Turn that back down. We'll go get the bread. That's nice and warm. We're going to do a slice through half of the loaf. Still a little frozen on the inside, but that's okay, because what we're going to do is separate it. We're going to lay the provolone cheese in there, and then we're going to put it back in the oven. It will take just a couple of seconds. All right, so what we're going to need to do is plate this up. Grab a plate, and we'll grab the bread out of the oven. Just a couple more minutes. I want that cheese nice and melty before we add the beef to it. I can probably turn that down, give it a little stir. We'll actually do the plating over here. Those spoons. Get more paper towels out. Some limes. Well, that bread should be good now. And it is. All right, so to assemble the sandwich, all we want to do is take our tongs, grab the beef, and layer it into the sandwich. That was a perfect portion. Now, I like to try and capture some of that giardiniera and put it on top of the sandwich. Now it's nice and hot. It's the same temperature as the beef. Make sure we get all the beef goodness out of there too. Now notice I'm not like trying to shake this off and keep the juice from getting into the sandwich, because there are people who actually will take the whole sandwich and dip it in the juice. That's called dipped. I like to ladle the juice a little bit over the sandwich, and I like mine a little wet but not soggy. There we go. Okay, so that is one Italian beef sandwich. I'm going to now break into this, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.